Happy Feb, everyone, and I hope everyone in our market making community is enjoying the last little bit of this summer weather, maybe with some more hot weather across Australia in the next couple of weeks. But in this market report, we're just having a look at some of our stocks for the beginning of February 2025, and particularly looking at the ones that you can see listed on the screen, and we will unpack some of the market sentiment that we're seeing across the market this week. Let's dive in. Okay, so if we have a look at our top 200 market index, or XJO, it's a really interesting time that we're at. We're currently entering reporting season after a little bit of volatility with Trump and the tariffs that we have been witness to. And if I just bring this arrow across, Trump's tariff announcements really did knock the wind out of the sails of the market, and we saw quite a lot of selling. But quite interestingly, the market came right back at the end of the week and finished up at 8,511 points. So that was an excellent recovery on our market. And there is some research that suggests that many passive investors who are investing regularly in our market do increase the buying of exchange traded funds and stocks during short price declines, as they see that the market is experiencing a bit of a sale. So wonder if that might explain why our market came back at the end of the week so strongly. But we are entering this zone of reporting, which will certainly be an interesting time for market sentiment, and anything can happen. Our previous reporting periods did see a little bit of, I guess, some hesitation, and depending on which stocks report or companies report different earnings, if earnings expectations are not reached, or sometimes even if they're exceeded, or if market expectations are I guess waning, then this can really knock stocks around in this reporting period. So we're early in reporting period. Some stocks are companies are beginning to report, and this will likely create some volatility on our market in this period of February. So always an interesting time to watch and commentate. But if we dive into some interesting market sentiment reports, so we've just released the Blue Report for this week, which is available on our website, marketmonkey.com.au, and you can just download our swing report for free, which is just the top 50 stocks and how their trends are tracking in the current week. So that's always an interesting dive. And of course, we have our fuller Blue Report if you're wanting to dive into those indicators a little bit more, and perhaps use that for your learning on the market. But let's just dive in. And first of all, let's have a look at IFT, or Infertil. And I'm just starting off with some of the ones where the sentiment is not looking so positive on some of these stocks. So IFT has experienced quite a fair bit of selling in the past few weeks and is currently experiencing a fair bit of price weakness. So that's our first stock that has really taken a bit of a battering in the last few weeks. The next one that's also sort of, as we say, dropped out of bed is Fisher Paykel, that has also experienced quite a bit of selling in the past week, so a fair bit of weakness on that stock. Jumping over to APA, we're now looking at some stocks that it's really interesting because we are starting to see some accumulation or high buying in APA. So we can really see that some volume is starting to move into this stock. Although the price isn't really moving yet, the sentiment of this stock is maybe experiencing a bit of a turnaround. So this will be really interesting to watch over the next few weeks and months to see if the dial starts to move on the APA price. It's obviously been in a massive decline. well, sort of way back here since 2022. So it'd be interesting to see if APA can experience a price recovery. So I'll be really watching that one with interest. Another one that has experienced a fair bit of increase in volume and buying is FMG. And this is quite common across the mining stocks in February. And FMG has had a little bit of a lift from some increase in volume and buying. So perhaps another one to watch as we move into February. And this has been the experience of a few of our mining stocks, our common ones like BHP and Rio as well. And this is in perhaps contrast to the banking stocks, which have been a bit lackluster as they sort of spin on their, spin on the spot really, while perhaps investors sit on the sidelines waiting for reporting. So nothing really to report with banking, but let's jump over to AMC, another stock where we're noticing a lot of buying volume moving into this stock. So that's perhaps another one to watch in terms of whether that increased buying will make a big impact on AMC's price. So yeah, definitely a lot of volume coming into that stock. In contrast to that, we do see a lot of positive market sentiment around REA and REA Group. The indicators for that suggest quite a lot of interest and volume coming in to REA, and we can see that represented in that very strong week of buying in last week of February particularly. So that will be one to watch. As we move across to NWS or News Corp, a very similar story. Once again, market is quite excited and bullish on NWS, with a lot of volume currently moving into that stock in the past week. So that's another one where the market sentiment seems to be quite positive. Perhaps some other stocks just to watch because of some movement in market sentiment and buying is CSL. So we are starting to see some movement in the background of CSL, although there's no real adjustment to the direction of the price as yet. Moving across to Woolies, which has really been in a fairly steep decline since September 2023, and we can see those decline markers or those downtrend markers which are supported by the Guppy multiple moving averages that have also been in decline, getting several confirmations there of a decline in price trend. However, we seem to be settling at this price point around the $30 mark and seeing quite a lot of volume coming into this stock on the market. So currently the price isn't making any adjustments, but perhaps there is some accumulation going on in the background in Woolies. So another one to watch in the next few weeks to months. Lastly, APA, another one to keep an eye on, which we just mentioned before, because of this huge downtrend, and now we're seeing some possible accumulation of buying in the background of APA, yet to move the price or the trend, but perhaps something to watch in the first quarter of 2025 regards to market sentiment. So really interesting times as we move into February reporting. And if we come back to our market index, we potentially may have a little bit of resistance around this 8,500 point mark. But if we break through there, we may see quite a big bullish move in our market, particularly if those miners start to take off after a period of time. However, reporting season is always uncertain, so we have a couple of scenarios both down and up as we move into February. So let's watch the market sentiment. Maybe some more announcements out of the US may throw us around as well, but yes, never a dull moment. Have a great February, and we'll try to provide another market report very soon, market sentiment report. In the meantime, please feel free to visit all of our free resources on marketmonkey.com.au.